Afternoon, it's Brentley here from Huckabones. Today we're going to look at the all-purpose seeders from Land Pride. We'll talk a little bit more about the sizes and how they are driven. Stay tuned. All right, so we're looking at the APSs, so all-purpose seeders from Land Pride. You're going to have 4 options of sizes. This is a 48-inch wide. They're also going to make a 60, 72, and an 86, I believe, is the last size on 3-point hitch style, so behind your tractor like you're seeing. They also have 2 models that you can do skid steer mount, which is kind of neat. They do a 3-point hitch on the one side, skid steer on the other. So you could have it on a tractor one day, on a skid steer the next. And the real neat thing is these packer rollers that are at the back are on both sides of that seeder. So you can go forward or backwards with that machine. So neat machine, not here today. We're gonna talk about this 1548 to be specific. On the front of this unit, we've ordered it with your aerator spikes. So you can do, like I said, the double seed bed rollers. But the aerator spikes are kind of a neat feature where they're set in straight mode right now for your new seeding areas, so fresh topsoil or fresh work ground in your food plots. You don't really need to throw up the ground too much, so you're just aerating it, letting that seed fall in. Moving back, your seed flutes are going to be here and dropping the seed down, and then on the back you're going to have your packer roller, which is going to press those seeds in. You know what I mean, make some lines for some grooves that whenever you do have heavy rain, that hopefully your seed isn't all washed away with that, and make some grooves for the rain to run in. Where this is a neat feature that the other roller won't have is we can pop 2 pins, and we're going to show this later in the video, and angle those that whenever you're on mature ground like we are, whether you have grass and you want to do some overseeding, this is going to tear the grass a little bit more, give it a more of a slot instead of just a hole puncture, and rip that up a little bit so that seed's getting down in this you know what I mean, mature lawn and hard packed ground that you haven't prepped yet. So we'll show you that in the video. We'll also do a video with it in some fresh soil just to see how it makes the lines and everything will view a little better. All right, so we'll start with a little bit of maintenance and setup and how this kind of thing works, just to explain it before we use it. But we're gonna start with your aerator roller here. You do have a grease ball bearing, which is nice and easy on the side. You know what I mean, these should spin very freely, make no noise, and then you know they're greased well. But looking in further in here, there is 2 pins that you're gonna pull, and you have see the different slotting positions that you can have, and we'll show them angled here before we use it. But it's really an easy lever to do once you pull those pins, and you can set the rollers to then be on a certain angle and go from there. Working back the machine, you got 2 lift points that if you do need to lift this or onto a trailer or anything that way, they've made the lift points, which makes it loading nice and easy, and you're not, you know what I mean, having anything damaged. But turning these 2 knobs just a little bit, this cover slides off. There's your whole chain gear and everything that you can lube up. Again, you're gonna have a bearing on your rear roller that you can grease at the back here. This obviously has been used and looks like it, and that's just good maintenance that way. Back to around the back, you're gonna have your seed guide, and you'll follow the steps, and they're actually on the inside of the box for what type of seed you're gonna have. That'll give you a recommendation of how much you should be spreading per acre or per hectare, depending on how you do. But at the back, you'll see your gauge meter here, and then your flutes is what they call them, where the seed's gonna come down and drop. Again, this is solely for small seeds and overseeding that, you know what I mean, you don't have to plant the seed into the ground. It's going to more fall on the ground, and then it will be pushed in. So you're more precision planters, this isn't what you want. But for food plots and grass, construction areas, all that kind of stuff, great little seeder. But that's the realm of the whole roundabout. All right, so just the last thing, of course, what that gear drive was doing that you saw earlier in the maintenance thing is that's your ground drive driven part. So this is not a PTO seeder. It's not an air drill seeder where, you know, air is blowing the seeds down. This is strictly ground drive. So whenever this rolls, that's gonna drop seed, as you can see right there. So again, it's as simple as that. One of the notes that I'll give you, just you know, key features whenever you're doing this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna go in straight lines with this. You know what I mean, your turning is gonna really depend on how heavy your 3-point hitch is on taking that weight. It is a heavy unit, especially full of seed and all that sort of stuff. So depending on how small your tractor is or how small your arms are, you will wanna watch the turning part. But staying straight, again, going to the end, lifting up and letting that roller stop before you lift, then you're not wasting seed. If that roller could be still spinning if you want to lift on the fly, and then you're just dropping seed that is not getting pushed down and you're just wasting. So something just to note on the proper use of it. But we'll go now to angling these aerator rollers, seeding some of this mature ground, and then we'll straighten them back up and go in some fresh soil and show you how the lines really work. So you can see here, we've kind of got a diagonal pattern because of angling those. You know what I mean? They are 1.5 inch spikes, so you're not going to have more ripping or flipping than that just because they're a straight spike down. But again, if you would have left it in straight mode, then that's just more of a pattern in a straight line, where this is kind of giving you a diagonal for that seed to catch, along with some rain to catch that's not washing anything away. Again, you won't see really the roller pattern at the back because the grass is already here. One thing I would recommend if you're going to do the overseeding like we are here, there's 2 weight spots in the front of that, in between your 3-point hitch and the seeder box itself. So you could put your cement blocks in there and have a little bit more down pressure for your aerator parts. That would definitely help, but this is just to kind of show you what it would do on a mature lawn. We're going to go next to some fresh topsoil, sand, and you'll see more of the rear packer roller then working and showing your lines of where you've seeded. All right, so looking at this, a lot more obvious of making your seed bed troughs, the rails that I kind of said, or the troughs that you want to call them, just for your rain to go in. Again, if you had a hill, then it wouldn't have a full washout of all your seed going missing, and that's hopefully going to break up that water and keep it in the trough, keep your seed in the trough. You'll see some seed on the outside, of course, because it's dropping it, but it's also packing it into the ground at the same point. You'll see in some places our aerator picks, again, you know what I mean, just going into a harder packs part, and then the roller, you know what I mean, going over it after. But this is what it's going to look like on fresh topsoil, you know what I mean, for a fresh seed bed. Little tip and trick, I do like to do a crisscross action. One, you won't see those lines, you know what I mean, from the road or just looking out at your grass of just the seed growing in a single line. And the other thing would be if you do miss a little bit or you do stray from a straight line, it's not as obvious too. When you hit the crisscross, then you might get that seed or that line in that other way. So just tips and tricks of using this seeder. All right, just wrapping up today's video. Again, APS is all-purpose seeders from Land Pride. They have 2 styles. One is a 3-point hitch like you see here in the APS model. Comes in a 48, 60, 72, or 86 inch wide. They also have a skid steer mount option with a PS model, again in a 72 or 86 wide there. Neat factor on that one, it comes skid steer one side, 3-point hitch the other, so very multi-purpose unit. You can roll forward or backwards with that because it does have 2 of your packer rollers on it, not your aerator like this unit had. So again, aerator option on the 3-point hitch ones only. We did some seeding on mature grass, of overseeding they call it. We did some seeding on fresh stuff just to show you the difference and how it looks. Great little model here. Again, a crisscross pattern does a great job in giving your nice lush lawn off the start of seeding. Or it could be your food plot and just doing a one direction kind of thing for that kind of thing. But great unit here. We sell them, not as popular every day of the week, but just a nice little unit here that's specialized and can help you seeding your food plot or your lawn. If you like what you saw today in the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.